What's up, YouTube? I'm making a video today because I ran into a situation with installing a new thermostat. I've had the same old builder grade thermostat, non-Wi-Fi, very limited programming for the last 18 years. And then I saw these come on sale this year, 2022, at Thanksgiving. And I love the LED screen. It gets great reviews, shows the humidity inside and outside and the temperature outside. Can be controlled via your phone as well, via the app. So very nice. Different colors you can put on your screen as well. Red, blue, orange, whatever that might be. But blue seems to be the nicest for me. So anyways, bought this on sale for $100. Great deal. That's not why I'm doing the video. This should have been simple to hook up, okay? This, most thermostats, my house is like 18 years old, have 4 wires: yellow, green, white, and red, okay? As mine did. And I was lucky enough that this requires a blue wire, which is, in many cases, it's a blue wire, which they call the C wire, which is like a neutral, okay? And when you think of electricity, it's really 24 volts, but it allows the flow of electricity, basically, I'm thinking, from what all my research and many days and hours of going through this frustration. So I didn't see a C wire, but when I watched some videos, when I pulled the wire out from the wall after I took the base of the old one off, I saw my blue wire wrapped around it. I thought, fabulous. I'm going to try to go through this quick as best as possible. Saw the blue wire. I thought, fabulous. I'll just hook this up. It should work. Well, I take the blue wire, cut the insulation back a quarter, half inch, what have you. Put on the new base of this unit, which I actually have. I could show you here. And plug it all up and nothing. Doesn't work still. Farting around, all my connections are good, confused. So then I go down to my carrier unit, which I have here. I'm going to see how well I can do this, if you can see me. I've got my carrier unit, and I had to take my cover off. And I went down into the actual blower basin, and I saw where these wires were hooked up to the yellow, green, and white, and then the blue wire was wrapped around it. And I'm like, oh, they just didn't hook it up here, at this behind here. And there was a C there. On this one, it showed it as COM, C-O-M. I'm like, okay, great. So I'll undo this wire. It just was disconnected here. They didn't need it, so they didn't hook it up. Well, great. The wire's there is all wrapped up. Cut back the insulation, hook it up. Go back upstairs and plug the unit plate back in, because again, it's digital, doesn't light up. So now I'm really confounded. And again, I'm going through these quickly. Each one of these things took hours because I didn't want to blow up my unit or what have you. But so then I'm working on that several times and not figuring it out. And then I started, after another day or two, I thought, well, I'm just going to call a technician to come out there. God knows what they're going to want to charge me, $150, $200 to wire this up for me. And it's just so simple. I can't believe I can't figure it out. So then what I noticed is, I said, well, wait a second. I have a zoned unit system. I wonder if that makes a difference. So I went over to this zone unit control panel. I'm actually going to rotate this so I can hold this for you. And I pulled the cover plate off. Rotate. Yep, there we go. All right. This is where it gets good. All right. So this is I have a 4-zone. If anybody doesn't know about zoning, this is the best thing I've ever had. I've got a basement that's finished. I actually have a friend renting it from me. They got their own independent hot and cold. But anyways, I just wanted to put this one thermostat on my main floor. That was it. Well, my problem is, if we focus in, is where the main wires come in from this unit from the actual blower fan motor area over here. These didn't run up. The ones that are behind here did not run up to my thermostat. The ones from here ran over to the control board for the HVAC zone control board, which you'll see right here. And what a lot of people don't see, or some of them don't have with these older units, you'll see on here, there is no place to put the C wire. And that was my biggest problem. Like, okay, well, I found that the wires come over here now. And then where do the wires pick up from the thermostat then? So the one set of C wires in here ran over to this control board for the zone unit. And then where is well, down here, I isolated with I was able to find out that this one down here, it has 8 wires on it. So my wires up at my thermostat actually had 8 wires behind it. So it was easy to isolate this one for me because I already had, this is the only 8 wire I had. So I'm like, okay, well, this is the blue wire. And here's the blue wire coming from this unit. Well, now I'll just connect them together. Well, that's what I did with a wire nut there, you see. This wire nut here. And then I went upstairs. Still nothing. Now I'm getting really frustrated and pissed. Anyways, so what I ended up doing is I actually called Honeywell, which is Residio, that does customer service now and what have you. And they were really cool. They actually FaceTime me, basically like FaceTime me, got into my phone and could see what I was doing and what was going on. And we checked the voltage. Again, I'm trying to make this short. We checked the voltage up at the thermostat for the red to the yellow, the red to the green, the red to the blue, and all that. And they were all around like 24 volts. But the red to the blue was around 22, a little bit low. And he told me this unit will not work. It will not power up with that type of variance. So that's very important. With that Honeywell unit that I just showed you in that box, if you've got a variance between your red and green, red and blue, red and yellow of more than a volt or half a volt, it may not work at all. So he said, I got a problem. Well, I showed him what I had going on here. And I said, well, I'm basically bypassing the whole control board because I just put the 2 blues together that actually made the full cycle and went up to my thermostat, okay? Which, I don't know if you want to talk to me about her face. But, so I actually got continuity, but again, I was off by 3 or 4 volts. And I said, well, there's no C along here to hook up the COM or the neutral, the blue wire. And he says, well, I think you need to call a technician, and he can't recommend that. But so anyways, we parted ways, but it just got me thinking. So what I ended up doing, if you'll notice on each one of my zones down here, it has a C. Each one of my zones has a C, but not the main feed that comes into the control board has a C, but all my individual zones have a C. Hopefully you can see that. Anyways, so I said, well, listen, let me take this blue wire that connects from the blower unit to the wire that goes up to the thermostat. And now let me put a jumper, basically a jumper from here right over into the C port on only on this one thermostat, because that's all I'm putting on is this one thermostat. I'm thinking it's a neutral. Maybe it'll give this whole unit now C capability with each one of these C ports. But either way, I said, let's give it a try. And lo and behold, the unit powered up. All my voltages were within 0.1%. I think it was around 24 volts, or might have been 25 volts even. But they were all very close, tight tolerances then. Then the unit powered up, and then it got it all up and running. Now, I've been working on this days because I've been getting frustrated, and I'm not a heating and AC tech. I do not see any videos on this, so hopefully this will help me with anybody, because it was terrible that there's no quick answers for something that should be fairly simple for a do-it-yourself. Or again, I hooked this up with a multi-zone unit. Again, I only have one of them. So, but you've got to be careful that, first of all, that your blue wire, hopefully you have that spare. Again, this is a situation where I had the blue wire coming from my units, from my thermostat, going down to my actual control panel for my zone. And then there was a jumper wire from my zone over to my fan motor that hooked up to the COM that I had to unflare around the feed of that wire, strip the connector, and then put it on the C. And then I had to also wire the 2 of them together. As you saw, I didn't do it for you, but I already had it done. wire the two of them together at the actual zone wiring unit, and then have a jumper wire go into the C of the actual zone because there is no C on the actual main feed that goes into the control board. That's what was messing me up, because I was bypassing the whole board. That was one of my steps that I missed. Again, this took me several days to sleuth this out, and so hopefully this helps you guys. Anybody, if you don't have zones, this is only for people that have, zoned situations. But again, anybody who doesn't have zones and running troubles, this might assist with how this worked. But hooking this up that way helped, got it done, no issues. So hopefully this helps everybody. A little bit long here, but I needed to show you what I went through and the deduction to solve the problem. So good luck to everybody. Take care.